All right, welcome to our Mindset Monday. Our call that we do every Monday, except for the last Monday of the month, is just for designated for a leadership chat that we do. Um, Tonight, I am so excited about our guest. Her name is Wendy Robinson. I've known Wendy pretty much since I've been in Cincy. I've known her and her husband Sean. They are incredible. I've gotten to hang out with them all over the world, different trips. She is a huge social media presence. She's had multiple videos go viral, and if you haven't checked out her TikTok after tonight, you're going to want to. She has one of the most artistic little boys who did a cartoon. It's a cartoonist. What it's called something anime. He did an anime portrait. Oh my gosh. I think it got her 5 or 6 million views. It was fantastic. And so she is kind of she's done it, which I know she'll talk about tonight, but she has done a lot of research. She's kind of learned the hard way, the long road on how to make a presence on social media. She's helped me out a ton. And she has a whole program she's going to tell you about in a little bit. But let me actually tell you the official words. Those were unofficial just from me. But um, Wendy Robinson, she's an entrepreneur and online content creator with over 23 years of experience. She and her husband joined Cincy back in 2008. They've raised 3 kids on the road while traveling full time since 2016. She's earned nearly every incentive trip, including top 100 to Greece. She's here today to share her real world wisdom. That's hard to say, real world wisdom, and help you build a business you love using social media. So she's amazing. She's also, it's not even that, but she's a superstar director. She's got a big organization. And one of my favorite things about Wendy is just she just lives life. For years, they were on the road and they would travel and just, oh, we're going to live here for a little while. We're going to live here. And just really, really inspirational. Her son, which I believe is her oldest, right? Is he your oldest? No.
He's the
Yeah,
number
your daughter is your
he's number two.
two. Okay, her daughter told us. Okay. But her son kind of has that entrepreneurial travel spirit. And he went to like Japan, I think, for a couple years and went to art school. And I could be getting it wrong, could be Asia, but I'm pretty sure it was Japan. But she lived life and she's just very interesting. She's very, you guys will love her. If you don't follow her on social media, please do so after tonight. So, Wendy, share all your wisdom with us, please.
Well, thank you. That was a amazing introduction. Not everybody goes like as deep. Okay, so uh, a little bit about my journey. Sean's the one who joined Sensi, not me. I did not want to join. I wanted nothing to do with Sensi. And he decided that like he was all about the fragrances and he wanted to do it. And I was like, dude, we're broke. I will end up having to do this stuff for you. Like, I don't want to have to do your stuff. And if you know, 17 years later, who's the one doing the stuff? Me. Um, anyway, so that's just a little bit of our background. He's the actual one who joined. He became a director 10 months after joining, with me helping in the background a bit, but he really did most of it himself. And then he asked me, and then I was like, all right, if I come on, I'm taking over. And he's like, please do. So that's kind of how the beginning of our journey started there. But before that, my background was I had been a recruiter, and then I'd worked in Seattle and ran a staffing agency there for a small family-owned business, not mine. And when I got pregnant with my son Sam, our number two, I was just like, God, I just want to work from home. And so I decided I'm going to build my own recruiting business. And I was like, how the hell did I do that? I don't know. I've never been an entrepreneur or anything. And I didn't want to pay daycare. Our daughter was 4. Our daughter was going to be 4 and he was going to be born, and so I was like, boy, daycare for her was already crazy expensive, right? So I was like, okay, how the heck do I do this? And also, we didn't have money either. So like, how am I going to build this? So I decided I'm going to build a website. I never built a website before. So this was what our oldest is 23 now, or no, not our oldest, our second Sam. So he's 23 now. And so we decided to Yahoo, because we didn't have Google back then, like how to build a website. And we went to the library and got like books for dummies and all of that stuff and tried to figure it out. And so I made the most basic, ridiculous website for myself. And back then I named it S&W staffing, and we used like two colors, and we used WordPress, and it was super lame, but somehow it did really well in the search engines, and we're like, I don't know how to do it. Like it just like did well, and we were all of a sudden competing with, if some of y'all are older, I can see the gray hair, we were dealing with like Monster and Career Builder, and like all of a sudden we were in the ranks of like everything. We're like, how did we do that? We had no idea. So then I shifted to changing it to just legal staffing. And so then we changed a new website, and we had to get better. And during that process, my husband, we both were doing it together, building it. And during that process, all of a sudden, like his brain started getting matrixy, right? Where like he was like those little numbers you see on the Matrix movie, and the zeros, and like all of a sudden his brain was like, I can see that and understand. And I still was like, I don't understand. So he then started to work on building our website while I was into the marketing, the sales, the everything to build my business. So I say all this to say that's how we started our journey, 23 years ago. And then it became, when YouTube came out, I started making videos, things like that for our business. And then 2008 came, and the entire, world came crashing down as far as like the recession here in the US. And so I lost my business, and it was like a sad country song. Like we lost, our power, our heat, all of our bills, like everything. That was so rough. And that same year, about 9 months later, I'd been working with Prepaid Legal. My parents were into network marketing, and I still like, I hated it, but they got me to come into it because the only jobs I could find were like at fast food, and I was not that girl, and so I was like, there's no way I'm going to work, at Taco Bell. And not that there's anything wrong with working at Taco Bell, but I knew me, and I was like, I can do better than Taco Bell for myself. And so I got into prepaid legal, and I excelled in that, but I hated it. It wasn't my kind of company and business. And I started selling uh, benefits, legal benefits. And I was like, oh, this sucks too. Like, that's so boring. Like, and I worked in the legal field, and I understand legal, but I want to do something else. And that's when Sean found Sensi. We were super broke. Like, our car was just repossessed. Like, it was a mess. And we were both just struggling so hard. And it was during some of you may know this already, but it was during our kids' school, like holiday fair. I was the PTA president, and I also was running this thing. And so his one job was to watch the freaking kids. And if you know anything about this, he was not watching the kids. He was off sniffing Scentsy. And I kept having the kids come and interrupt me, like, Mama, can I buy this? Can I get, and I'm like, where's daddy? He's over there smelling some stuff. And I'm like, so I walk over there all huffy and puffy, and I'm like, and he's like, oh, honey, look at this Scentsy. Like, do you know what? This is a candle worm. And like, he's selling it to me. And I'm like, I hate you. I'm going to kill you. And, and so that was my first introduction to our sponsors, Robert and Katie Jones. And anyway, and so we still couldn't join because we didn't have any money, and they invited us to their house like a month later. They really wanted us to join because they saw the potential, and they didn't really have very many people under them too. They just moved to the area from Utah. And so they were like, hey, back then there wasn't bonus buying. Bonus buying is, a real bad deal now. But back then we kind of were in the grandfathered loop thing where it hadn't become like an icky thing to where it is now. And so they paid for us to join, which I believe they benefited quite a bit from, and they got their money back from it. So that was a good thing. And I don't have the guilt from it, but they paid for us to join. And we decided we were going to Sean was going to build it with building websites from after building all my stuff up with businesses. So he um, built it that way. And I had to keep going and doing parties for him in home. And I was like, this sucks, because he worked on weekends. He still had his job. And I was like, I hate going into people's houses, like doing the whole intimate setting. Like, I could be on a stage. That's no problem. I could go do that. But I do not like being in people's houses, standing in their living rooms, like I can't, it's not my comfort zone. So I was like, how do I never do this ever again? So I started making YouTube videos for the website that he built. And so I started getting really good at those, and we started having high turnover from all of my videos. And then I started sending out basket parties with those. And so we built like a big business. We recruited from 2008 to 2012. I mean, we were recruiting anywhere from 4 to 6 people on average every single month for years. And some months it was like in October 2009, I think we recruited like 11 people from Canada that in like a 2 day period. So but most of the time for all that period of time, it was 4 to 6 recruits every single month. And it was flipping basket parties, it was our online presence. And then over time, like as things do, other people start getting online and you're like, oh crap, here goes all my stuff. I am not doing as awesome as I once was. So that's where you're like, okay, I've got to get on Facebook. Okay. And so I really had to start focusing on that. And I told a story recently where I went back and you know how you get the memories from Facebook, and I joined Facebook in 2008, but a memory came back up and it was like, oh, I'm eating a ham sandwich. Mm-mm. There was no picture of a ham sandwich. I didn't give directions as to like how to make a ham sandwich that's delicious. I don't know if I bought the sandwich, if I made the sandwich. I don't know. All I know is I have a memory that says, I have a ham sandwich. Mm-mm. Like that's dumb, right? And so that reminded me of all of you and how you post online and how I posted online back then. That those were like things that like what the heck was I posting for? Like what was the purpose of that post? And so that's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about, the evolution. I don't want to tell more about my history and everything like that, but it's how I've evolved with like why I posted on YouTube. What was I just posting on YouTube to like be popular? No, I was posting on YouTube so that I never had to have a freaking party ever again. Hold on, my husband wants it. What do you want?
Computer over there.
You're what?
Oh, go over your back.
Crawl over the bed. No one can see you. Well, you can see little flashes. I have a fake screen behind me. My husband needs something. I went in the back bedroom to hide, and here he is. You done? Oh my God, he's so loud. Killing me. Okay, you can see, I don't know if any of you can see the weird flash behind me, but um so I started getting into, you know, YouTube, and if you go look at my YouTube from our business, it only has like 600 and something followers after all these years. So you do not like you'll see some people that have like 9,000 followers on YouTube. You know who most of those are? You Sensi people following them. It's crazy when I talk to some of the different consultants who have like certain numbers in different places. So many times it looks like they're way cooler than they are, but maybe they're just consultants, so they're not having conversions for sales or recruits or other things. They're just being followed, right? And that's lovely, but it inflates your numbers in a bad way. So I say this to tell you, like, if you have only 200 followers or 100 followers on any kind of social platform, that doesn't matter. Are they good followers? Do they actually follow you for a reason? Are they customers? Are they friends? Are they, what are they? Where are you posting? There's so many places to post, right? Like, raise your hand if you get like, oh gosh, like I'm on Facebook, but the idea of getting on TikTok, that makes me nauseous, or I don't even know how to do that, right? Yeah, I did too. I was like that too last year. So this is a bit of my journey. As awesome as I've had viral videos on YouTube, and I've had them on, different platforms, TikTok, like Jacqueline said, I have his video has like 4 million, almost 4.1 million views and like 500,000 likes and a gazillion comments. But the reason that's up there is for a purpose. I didn't just put it up there. I put it up there to go viral so that I could get into TikTok Shop. So I used my son's artistic skills on purpose to get me the numbers that I needed to reach a goal that I wanted to attain. So my Instagram or my TikTok, if you want to follow it, is I am Wendy Robinson, all one word, and then an underline afterwards. So I am Wendy Robinson underline. And so what I did is I had been on TikTok about 2 years or so ago. I think I got onto TikTok and I'm like, what's this? And I over about a year, I got up to maybe like 3,500 followers, and I had some videos that got like traction. I had some videos that maybe had like 4 or 500,000 views, and like one of them was super stupid. It was just me holding a phone, talking to, and I was making the video for my husband and daughter. We were living in an apartment together, and I found a second laundry room that we didn't know about. in the whole building. And I made this video and I'm talking, you guys won't freaking believe this. And you could see me walking through and like, guess what I found today? I found another freaking laundry. And I'm talking like that into the camera with just my hand doing this and opening doors. And I was like, guess what? And then I went into the garage of the other building and there's a third laundry room. And that video just went boom. It went boom on Instagram, Facebook, and on TikTok. And so you never, and it was a crappy video too. Like it was not done well. It was horrible lighting, grainy, whatever. And you, but it was real. It was me. It was just me talking to the camera with something that I saw. And for some reason, people liked it, right? So when you're posting stuff, you're like, okay, well, why am I posting that? I posted that because I was irritated that day. And I was like, I wonder if anyone else has ever had this happen to. I was irritated myself. So I wanted to see if anyone else has ever done any, like never knew there was a secret place in their building. And all of a sudden people started telling me, oh my gosh, my building had this. I didn't even know, or we even had our own parking garage and the person never told us, we never had a space for 2 years. And like all this stuff that, people were. So again, share things that are true to you because you never know who is going to resonate with that, right? So when I built up my social throughout the years, my son actually, he wasn't at our school. Both my older children are performers, professional performers, and our son, he went to Japan at 17 years old. He was brought on by a management company there to be in a J-pop group, so Japanese pop band like K-pop. And so he was a J-pop star for 3 years in Japan. And it ended up being like a horrible situation for him, all this stuff. But while he was there, the little kids there, the tweens, hunted me and they followed me. So I have my Instagram has, I don't know, thousands. I have probably maybe like 3 or 4 thousand, Japanese tweens who follow me. I have people who follow me from old Scentsy posts that I used to post years ago, from our international travels, from being an older mom having a kid, our third kid here, Sebastian, from like my cooking, stupid human things. Like, so my Instagram is like not cohesive. I went through different periods of time. So when I post something, you never know like what kind of traction it's gonna get. That's Instagram. Facebook, I have 2 different Facebooks. I have one that was personal, and then I have one that I had to switch all of my Scentsy people 2 years ago, because of Scentsy rules and all this stuff, and I couldn't do anything else, and anyone know about it or I'd die or whatever the rules were with Scentsy compliance and all that, right? So, um, so I had some videos on the Scentsy side go viral. So all of a sudden I had 9,000 followers on that Facebook one, and my old one's still at like 1,500. So that one too is like a weird following. I have a lot of Scentsy people who respond, but I have maybe another 6, 7,000 followers who follow me because of a couple videos that are not cohesive. They're not Scentsy stuff. They're not. Okay, so I'm just throwing this out there so you guys have an understanding of how social media is working. TikTok. So last July, I had 3,500 followers, and somehow I saw a video and it said, TikTok shop. And I was like, what's the heck's a TikTok shop? I'm 51 years old. I don't know what the heck a TikTok shop is. What's that? All the cool kids do it. And so I saw, like, you can make money on TikTok shop. I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to do TikTok shop. So I'm like, what do you got to do? You got to get 5,000 followers to get into TikTok shop. And I was like, what's the fastest way to do that? My son's drawings. And so I went and I started sharing videos of my son, and a couple, like, they just like immediately started taking off, and I got followers. So within 7 days, I now had 6,000 followers. And then it was like, oh, there's the creator rewards program. What is that? 10,000 followers. And then every time you make a video over 1 minute long, you make money if it qualifies for the program. And I was like, I want to be part of that too. So I started posting more stuff, and within a couple more days, I was at 12,000. So I did all of that on purpose. Now I have like 23,000 or something like that. But I get people from my other posts. I used my son's art to propel me there. And then the rest of it was just organic, not from my son. But I have a hodgepodge of followers, right? Most of you guys don't have that experience with social media, right? Most of you guys probably have Facebook, Instagram, Maybe you dabble a little in TikTok. Maybe some of you guys do more TikTok. There's actually a lot more like Gen Xers doing TikTok than you'd even think, right? And then there's YouTube, there's Pinterest. So there's all these things out there, and like one or two of them pretty good, right? So raise your hand if you have more than 1,000 followers on any platform. Okay, so most of you have less, right? Now, those of you who have your hands up, do you have more than 5,000 followers on any platform? Okay, you do, Tiffany? What platform do you have it on? Type it.
Can I just talk?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a VIP group on Facebook that has over 5,000 in my VIP group
What's that?
on Facebook.
No, what's a BFP? What's that group?
VIP.
Oh, VIP. Sorry, I got bad hearing.
No, you're okay.
Okay, VIP group. Okay. So that's great. So you probably get a lot of business from posting in your VIP group, right? Anyone else have anything like that or any other large following anywhere? Okay, Emily, you do? Where's that at? Putting you on the spot. Okay, yeah, Jacqueline, I mean, I can do it. Okay, so you have a VIP group as well and TikTok with lots. Okay, so you have TikTok with lots. How'd you get your TikTok with lots? You want to talk? Yes, no? Nope, she's typing.
So just with TikTok, just being fun with it, just being real and obviously just interacting and finding people on there that have the same likes or interest of me. I try to post some Scentsy on there, but just not a whole bunch, just trying to have just those normal conversations with people and not just all Scentsy.
Okay, good. So that's that. Do you hear what she's saying? She's having fun with it, right? Because when you are not having fun on something, so when I first got on TikTok Shop, I stopped being Wendy. I started being what I was told I was supposed to be from other experienced TikTok shoppers trying to help get videos to go viral. And for 6 months, I was so focused. I joined communities, I paid money to be part of things to learn. And I was like, I hate this. I hate the shum wow kind of, approach or doing all these little razzle madazzle things. And I wasn't being me. Now I do that anyway, sometimes just because that's my personality to be, stupid and like, ugh. But I was doing it for, sales. Right. And that feels over time, it doesn't feel like something you want to do or you get burnt out from it. But when you're yourself and you're talking about things that you're passionate about and you enjoy, like at Summit, all of the superstar, I swear, every superstar director came up to me at some point, Jacqueline included, and was like, so, like, what should I post? Where should I put? Well, what do you like? What do you like? What do you like talking about? Well, I mean, I like, this or that. And I mean, like I had Melissa Gratz was one who was just like, she's like, I don't even know. Like she was so blocked up, like she didn't even know what she liked to post anymore. She didn't even like posting anymore because anytime she thought about posting, she just didn't post. And then she got locked up about posting, right? All of these leaders are like, I'm not even sure what to post. You get so jacked up with like what the Scentsy rules were that you get afraid to post, and then you get to the point where can I post? Where can I be me? If I post something, that's controversial, if I write something about, autism or I do this or that or something, right? Uh, Someone could be upset with it and you could lose business or get canceled. So there was all this fear of like, what can I post and all that. And the most important thing is to post what you like. It doesn't matter about it initially. If you're going to do this, you need to post about what you enjoy. You need to be completely you, and you need to stop doing things like posting a picture of a candle warmer or a bar of your profile. You are not a warmer. You are not a bar. You are, Carol, Denise, Pat, Michelle, Jacqueline. I mean, that's who you all are. And there's something that you're all interested in, multiple things that you're all interested and that you want to post about. Maybe it's being annoying and posting, like for Jacqueline, she loves posting about the boys in baseball and she likes posting about her daughter. Obviously, she's obsessed with her daughter, who's adorable. I'm obsessed with my son who says the craziest crap. So for example, I posted a video the other day. He was screaming. Okay, back in the day, when you get a mosquito bite, you had to use your fingernail and you do the X with the fingernail to kill the bite and not make it, to like kill it. I don't even know if that's a real thing, but that's what you did. Everybody knows if you were, raised any time before just now, that is what you do immediately. Well, I did that to my son and he screamed, thought I was trying to murder him. And 20 minutes, I had to try to calm him down. And then he didn't believe me that you were supposed to do that with the fingernail. So I said, Daddy's still awake. Go talk to him. My husband says, oh, I have this bug bite thingy. And he had this little tool thing that we've had for years, but always forget to use. And so he got that out. And I recorded my husband doing that on my son. And I posted it yesterday. And it's already got on Instagram. It's got about 17,000 views on it just since yesterday. But on Facebook, it's got like a couple hundred. And then on TikTok, it's like dead. Maybe like 700 or 800 on it. So every platform is different, right? But it's a video of him screaming and then him and being calmed down by my husband then. And then I said, oh, Mama's a jerk. And he goes, yeah, Mama is. And it was just funny. And but it's all our family and our personality. So when you post things, post the stuff, like have your camera, like if you think something's funny, like I've even posted stuff about taking our dog Susan out for her walks and having her spend 30 minutes for the poop spot, even though she was desperately telling me in the house that she had to go poop right now or she was going to poop all over the house if I did not take her right then. That dog is a liar and she's dramatic, and I take her outside and she spends 20 minutes looking for the poop spot. So I'm out there talking about the poop spot, and some people are just like, oh, my dog's in the poop spot. And so you may be going, I have no idea what the heck Wendy's talking about. But the people who know about the poop spot, they know about the poop spot. You know what I mean? So the point is you are not supposed to post to try to attract certain people. You post for you and who you are and how you are. Okay? You do not post to be like, I'm a perfect princess Scentsy person, or I'm this, or I'm that, or, everything is always right in my world. It's not. But you don't also have to like people get a great gist of who I am on social media, and I am that. But it's not 100% of who I am, and sometimes we act for the camera on screen, and other times it's totally raw, real, and you don't know what you're going to get or what I'm going to feel like putting up. I might share family trauma stuff. I might share, my husband, us spraying each other with cologne and perfume and me calling him, names because he sprayed me in the face and then I attacked him and it was funny. You just never know what I'm going to post. And for you guys, I've seen, since I was talking to all the superstar directors, I created a course, and Jacqueline's going to share the link with you. Some of you guys might already be in the course or not, but it's free for all Scentsy consultants, and it teaches you about social media. And that's why I'm not telling you too many details, like deep details, because if you go take the course, I had Jack take the course, and it was like, oh, I can do that. Or, oh, this is what you do on Instagram. That's what a hook is. I didn't understand, and so it really helps you figure out like where you should post, what you like talking about. They're called pillars or buckets. All right. I am a curious kitten. I am not just a Scentsy consultant. If anything, Scentsy is so far down from who and what I am, but we're still superstar directors. We still have our teams. We still post. I just made a whole butt ton of videos today about Scentsy, and I filled up my warmers and I did all this stuff. Right. So yes, Emily, you can ask ChatGPT what your pillars are, but if you don't train ChatGPT properly, like that's another thing. ChatGPT is an amazing, amazing resource. I just made a video that ChatGPT just helped me with all of my medical history and helping me with my vitamins and all this stuff today. It was amazing, and we worked it out together for 2 hours, and we got down a program that's going to work amazing. But you can have it do anything from your diet, homeschooling schedule for me, for my son. Everything in your life can be helped with ChatGPT, but you have to train it. You have to put all your information in, and you have to question it like, did you include this? Did you forget about this, ChatGPT? ChatGPT is a little forgetful sometimes. Um, but if you don't tell ChatGPT like what you really love talking about honestly and sincerely, it's not going to be able to help you come up with pillars. And so in my course, it helps you figure out what the pillars are. I have a worksheet. I have all this stuff that you guys can do. And Jack's going to share the link in your page there for you guys just to click it. Oh, and you have to fill out all the questions or I won't let you in. All 4 questions have to be answered or I won't let you in. Just because there's no other way I can manage to figure out who Scentsy consultants are. But when you guys are thinking of posting, like there's some people that are like, oh, I need to be on TikTok because that's where all the young people are. Well, do you want to be on TikTok? Have you ever been on TikTok? Like, do you know what TikTok is about? Like, don't just go to a social platform unless you're really already good at understanding the ones you're on. So I explain in my course, like, Facebook, what they look for. So a little more background is I was invited into a special program by Meta for Instagram and Facebook. And so you have to be invited. I have someone that I get to speak to from Meta who helps me with my Instagram, and they've told me exactly what you need, and I share that in the course, like what's important to them. And so um, I saw that there was some social media training here from Scentsy, not from Scentsy, but by other consultants who were teaching that when you post in your stories, you get more followers that way. How many times have you how many of you believe that when you post in your Instagram stories, those are seen by non-followers? Good. Because when you're on Instagram and you look at your stories, the only people you ever see pull up in your stories are either paid advertisements or the people who follow you, right? Your stories are where you put your day-to-day stuff on Instagram, like your life, your stupid stuff, the stuff you don't need to make into a reel. That's just for your people. That's where you sprinkle Scentsy in there. You don't need to go make a bunch of posts and reels about Scentsy. Your posts and reels should be about like your real life or you going on a trip. And just to let you know, Greece, I've been there 4 times. I was there on the top 100 back in 2012, 24. I don't even remember. It was a gazillion years ago. And then that was how my husband and I decided we were going to travel the world and sell everything we owned and take our teenagers around the world for a year and a half, get pregnant with the 7-year-old, all this stuff because of the Thai babies. So we've been to Greece 4 times or so. You guys will love it, by the way. And it's not a once in a lifetime trip, Jack. You can go there anytime. It's there. Go. It's amazing. Anywhere you go in Greece, even if it's on the cheap, it's awesome. Um, so you can put about your travels, you can post about anything, but you're going to curate the people who follow you based on the buckets and the things that you talk about. That's why it's important to just get a general idea. But again, I'm a curious kitten. I like selling crap on TikTok shop, and trying freeze dried ice cream. And I like talking about Scentsy, and I like talking about my family and the dogs and all the politics. I like talking about so much stuff that to just have like 3 pillars is rough. But for many of you, you may not even like have thought deeply about like what I'm posting, why I'm posting, what the goal is of my post. Like how many of you, when you've earned a trip, just said, thank you everyone for helping me earn my trip, blah, 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 blah. I earned this trip. Thank you. And I'm so excited to go here. Most everybody, because I see these posts, right? What's the point of posting that? Is it to brag? Is it to really say thank you? Because I feel like a thank you would be like emailing and messaging all my customers saying, hey, privately, that seems more, right, thoughtful to me, right? So what's the point? Just telling people that you're with Scentsy, and if you join Scentsy, you could earn a trip too, right? That's the point of it. So wouldn't a more thoughtful post be something like, where you maybe say, if I hadn't taken the leap to join Scentsy 2 years ago or however many years ago, there's no way I would be able to go on this trip because I couldn't afford it or whatever. Like say, so if you've ever wanted to travel, reach out to me and let me know. There's a million other ways that you could post about that. And so I'm hoping that in the future going forward, when you guys earn trips, you stop posting that. You start posting things that are meaningful and thoughtful and like, what's the intention of this post? Even if it's like that stupid bug bite post, the reason I posted that on everywhere was to get more followers who like that kind of content, because that's who I am. That's who our family is. That's why I posted it, just to get followers. If I'm going to post a Scentsy video, what's the point of posting my Scentsy video? I would like to sell the item, right? That's in my Scentsy video. And so if I just show the product, but I never say, hey, call me and ask me for my personal special, or, like, hey, type Scentsy or type air purifier or type, clean, in the comments, and I'll send you a special link. Like, if you have no call to action, like, what's the point of making that video? Everything needs to be intentional. What's the point? Every time you post something, what's the point? What's the point? What's the point? And if you don't know what the point is, you need to think about what the point is, and then think about, like, okay, well, if I'm going to watch this, what would I get out of it? Like that ham sandwich. Always think about my stupid ham sandwich before you post, right? Like, could you imagine if I had taken a picture or a video of me making that ham sandwich and was like, this is how I layer it, because I make sandwiches a certain way. Every bite has to have the same flavor in every single bite. I have an issue with that. Every bite has to have the same lettuce, tomato, onion. Everything has to be layered a certain way. Everybody knows my sandwiches are the best sandwiches in my family. And mama, can you make me a sandwich? You're the best sandwiches, because I make them awesome. So could you imagine if I had made a picture of that stupid ham sandwich and said, okay, when you layer it like this, or like I made my own gluten-free bread back then. I think that's what I did. And let me know if you want the recipe. I could have been doing so much more marketing or making money as a content creator for 23 years, but I didn't, because I wasn't as thoughtful for so many years about exactly what I was doing and why I was doing it. So my hope for you all is to just be much more thoughtful and go take that course. It's an hour. If you just watch it like Jack, it's super fast and easy. It's just me talking to you, like, very conversationally, and just explaining things to you in a fun, basic way. There's nothing hard about it. So don't be like, oh, I don't understand, or technology's not my friend, or I don't have a lot of time. It's an hour. You can even turn it on and listen while you're doing other stuff, and listen to it and pause it in areas that you think, you might get something from. But um do you guys have any questions? Because I know I'm probably going over, right? You guys do this for a half hour normally?
Yes, I think that what you had me thinking about tonight too is I think I'm overthinking a lot, and I'm not posting as much because I'm overthinking, as far as, because Winnie knows I'm new to TikTok, and she's been helping me with tons of questions. And I feel like I'm overthinking instead of just posting more videos more. I'm thinking too much about the next one. And something you said was, you said something about you just have to make it fun, like quit creating and make it fun. And obviously think about things that may go viral, that kind of stuff, if that's what you want, if that's your goal. My goal, I would love to have a couple viral videos and up my following, and then sprinkle Scentsy, right? And get new Scentsy customers. That's my goal. It's not to do anything else other than that. But when you said that, it clicked with me, like, oh my gosh, I have been overthinking so much about like what's the perfect video, right? And because of that, I haven't been posting near as much, because I feel like it has to be perfect. And I just need
But
to.
it locks you up, and you become like Melissa, where you freeze. And everyone looks at Melissa Gratz and thinks she's amazing. Like, she got a block, guys. You know what I mean? And so you can look at someone and be like, oh, they're amazing, or their content, like now her content's flowing. I don't know if you've noticed a difference in the last month when you see Melissa Gratz. That's because Melissa and I had a conversation, and I helped smack her out of her block. Right?
Mhm.
I was like, Melissa, just post shit. Post shit that's fun. Like, what do you find entertaining? What do you like to post? And someone had come up to her while we were talking and said, oh, Melissa, you know what you're so good at? You should do it. And I was like, Melissa, what do you like posting about? What are you interested in? And the stupid stuff that goes in her mind is exactly what she finally started posting at. And now she's feeling, and she's feeling like the load is lifted off of her chest, and she can, like, just go look at her video. Like, you can just see, if you go back through some history, you'll be like, oh, I'm learning about Melissa now. Melissa's showing more of her life, and her weird cleaning issues, and how she doesn't clean up all the alerts on her phone, and all these things and you're like, oh, I connect with that. Or like, oh, Melissa, I can't be friends with you if you have all those alerts on your phone. That's awful. And so you follow people because you are connected or you see something real about them in their lives. And I keep, I told Jacqueline, like if you love posting about your daughter, post all the stupid videos. You don't know if something, and you don't post it to go viral. You post it so that other people will connect with your content. That is eventually how you will go viral. Like I have a stupid video and I tell this to strep throat. I had strep throat a couple years ago and I looked awful. I looked like crap. My face was a mess. I had rash, like it was bad. I was having a breakout. And I had I had my phone camera and I was like, "Ah, ah, ah," and I showed inside my mouth and I was like, I got strep throat. And it was like a 15-second video. It was stupid, horribly lit. I looked awful. That video has like 750,000 views on TikTok and tons of comments. It's still every day I get comments that I have to respond to on that video 2 years later because I shared this stupid video about my strep throat. And you just never know. Again, you're just living your life and sharing it. Now, if you like, obviously in a Facebook VIP group, you're not sharing all that stuff, but you do want to share your personal stuff in there because that's what connects them to you. Also, if it's a VIP group, you want them to know, a bit about you and your family. You want them to want to be part of that group and to be there. So, you know, Jacqueline had an issue with didn't want to be front facing camera wise. She wanted to have people, like film the boys, film her daughter, but she didn't want to be in it. And I was like, how's anyone going to know who you are? And there's a place for that. Like there's meme posts or there's, only like hand posts doing everything. You could have baby hands, you could do whatever kind of stuff you want. But like that's not going to have someone learn about you. Do you know what I mean? Does anyone know who Jonay is? Anyone follow Jonay? Okay. Jonay does this thing where she posts every outfit she wore for the week. Just does that every day. She goes into work, she takes it in the same spot every single day, and then she does a compilation each week of the stuff she wore to work. Now, I'm not personally interested in what Jonay wore to work, right? But you know how many other people are? A lot of people. I don't care. I've seen it because I like Jonay and I like other content from her, more of her family stuff and other stuff. But some people will go there every week just to see what the heck Jonay wore to work every single day. And she's adorable and every outfit's totally different, right? So you look at the people who you like to follow. Why do you like to follow them? What is it about them that you like to follow? And then you have to engage. That's the really big secret here is you have to engage. You cannot just be off doing, posting, hoping to get viral, but not trying to support the platform that you're on because the platform notices that you're not engaging or you're just writing awesome on someone's post. Or when someone comments on your post, you're just, putting a heart or you're ignoring it or you forgot to go respond. You have to respond. You have to engage. You have to write more than one word. You can't just write the same thing over and over and over again. You have to really respond and you have to go follow other people and go respond to them and engage and share and repost. You don't have to do that bottom up thing. If you see that on TikTok, that's BS. You don't have to do that. But you do have to engage and talk to people and go. Then when you find someone who's doing what you want, what you like, or who's doing something like, oh, this person talks about this, right? So what hashtags why are their posts going viral? Study other people you're interested in having the kind of content like. And if you're not doing it, like them, maybe someone's too pretty, right? Like I'm not a pretty girl in that way. Like I'm not like girls, like I don't do that thing. Like where's all my girls at? Like that will never come out of my mouth and if you hear me say that, I've been abducted and call the police because I will never say, where's my girlies at? Like it'll never come out of my mouth, right? I can't follow people who talk like that typically. Like, where's all my girlies? Like, kill me. Next. So there's an audience for everybody and everything. And just because I don't like the girly vibe kind of a thing doesn't mean that I don't like some of the content that girly girls do, or maybe outfits of the day or things that I can strive for, or like the content or their personality or whatever. I then study someone and be like, oh, that's how they did that, or how did they their hashtags that they put or what they wrote in their caption, and I'll watch the whole video through and I'll save certain things and make file folders of people that I'm enjoying watching and why I like watching them. you know, and that's how you learn and grow. But you do have to be thoughtful if you want to build something on any of these platforms. You know, you do have to be thoughtful. Like I just got signed with I was with another agency on TikTok, and I just had an interview with another one, and because I left my other one to go to this other one. And you know, you do have to, if you want to build something socially, you really do have to be thoughtful. You have to have strategy in everything that you do. And if you have your Scentsy business, do you guys have strategy in it? Or do you just post a warmer from the workstation and say, coming out June 1st? Like everybody else is posting the same stupid ass post too, right? Like what makes you different? Like what sorry if I swear, I don't know if you guys all swear or not, but I'll swear. But like why would I look at your post when everybody's posting the same thing all the time? Right? Like that's just stupid. Like, you know, what is it, Shauna? What, how would you market? You know, I want to see Shauna talking about the warmer, and I want to see Denise, and I want to see each person talking about what's coming out, or your own unique spin on it, or whatever you are authentically to, because people are going to follow you for who you are authentically. So stop not posting. Go take the course if you haven't already. It'll just really help direct you and help. It'll help kind of smack you around. It'll be like the little barriers in the bowling lanes that kind of help keep you bounce from getting into the gutter. It's just going to keep slapping you back around and be like, okay, it's not that hard. It's pretty easy. You know, Jacqueline was pretty jazzed after she did it. And she's like, I have so many ideas now. And now that's where you can go back and rewatch everything and be like, okay, I remember saying something about that, but now I've had a blockage. Where was that section in the course that talked about this? Okay, I'm going to go watch that again. Okay, I'm going to focus on that now. So the course is available to you after you finish it for as long as Facebook's up. So go take that, and it should help all of you figure out, even if you know a platform. I'm on all of them. I'm on YouTube. I got Pinterest. I hate Pinterest though. That's not my jam. But you know, go on Mindset Monday.
Mhm.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
can
we
go-
have a page dedicated just for the Monday trainings. No one can like post things. It's just for moderators to post recordings and documents. So I'm going to post Wendy's program on there after this call. I highly suggest, oh, thank you, babe. I highly suggest that you go through it because I think for me, and I told Wendy this too, like, I'm just so scared, like I'm not technology chick. I'm not fast forward thinking. I'm not like, someone has to show me before I'll try it. And that's what our course did. It really showed me what to do. I have obviously asked a lot of questions. I asked my, 13-year-old too, like, what's this? But it's the courses broke down so easily that for someone like me to get through it, like any of you guys can. And then what Wendy was pointing out to you, like I look at a lot of you across the board and I'm like, okay, Patty Wonder freaking loves animals. Like she's like probably the bomb pet sitter, house sitter. I know she goes all out. Like she could really cater to her animal lover personality. And Denise Jardinay, she adopted a puppy that had so many issues that she wasn't told about. And she spent thousands in bills taking care of the cutest dog in the world. But that's something that like, I think it'd be really interesting to see how that came to fruition in TikTok videos like that.
Yep.
And she could, because this dog is so freaking cute. And then, just like Pat Lee first retired, she could take that route. Like, what do you do in the day in life of retired? And, do funny videos of her drinking her coffee and watching Dr. Phil. I don't know what, not that you do that, you work really hard.
Do you guys know, do you guys follow a Nick Gervais? Okay. Be new, right? If you know, about
Yes.
Binu the chicken, right?
Yes.
Now I knew about Binu before Binu was famous, and I'd already, know. But her chicken, she had on TikTok, she had 1,100 followers, I think is what she under 1,000. She had under 1,000. She has like 33,000 followers on TikTok now. Her I remember her Instagram, she had like 13 or 14,000. She had to create a separate page for her chicken because one video went viral. And she did that because she was posting what she loves and in her personality and everything. And then you sprinkle Scentsy into it. Stop being a Scentsy person. Start being Patty, Jack, Carol, Denise. start being, who you are, and sprinkle bits of whatever else that your business stuff into it. People still know who I am, our travels, our kids, our the stupid shit I do. I cook, I have opinions on things, lots of things. And, so people will follow me or be turned off by that. And that's totally fine. And you should stop feeling uh any certain sort of way about what other people think of you, because at the end of the day, the only people that matter are your husband, spouse, children, partner, and your children, maybe your parents, maybe some siblings, depending on your relationships. But you know what I mean? Like nobody else matters. It doesn't matter what any other Scentsy people think. It doesn't matter. You be authentic to you. Scentsy is about authenticity, right? Totally about authenticity. So if you are not being authentically you, that doesn't seem very, very much with Scentsy ways, right? At all. So if you're not being authentically you, quit trying to be what you think you need to be. Just be you. Whatever your stupid thoughts are that are in your little head, let them out. Let them out, because my little stupid thoughts like connect with other stupid thought people. Right? Like you just some of the stupid things that I say or think, like the poop walk with the dog, like I think that's stupid, right? But there are other people who think it's not as stupid as you may think. Okay?
Mhm.
So go out there and just have fun, say the things, and stop worrying about what other people, especially sensitive people, are going to think, because we are not all alike. None of us,
Yeah.
not any of us on here, we all are totally different. Totally different life experiences. We were all raised differently. We've traveled in different places or never traveled ever in our entire lives. There's no way that we can please all the people. And until you've been hated, you haven't made it anywhere. Number one, right? Jacqueline's the sweetest person, but she's hated. Some people hate her. I have haters, and I'm a lovely person. I'm a lovely person, but I have some haters. You know what I mean? Patty
Mhm.
has some haters. Everybody has some haters. So who cares? Let them hate ya. And you know what, too? If you end up posting something and have people who hate what you wrote or are mean to you, that pushes you higher in the ranks. Enjoy it. Don't delete those comments. Enjoy those comments. Have fun with those comments. Engage with those comments. My life is boring typically on a day-to-day basis. So when I get a snarky comment, guess what? That is fun for me. It is game time. Let's go. Right?
I
So
love you.
yeah. Anyway, I know we're pushing an hour, so sorry, but yeah.
No, this is
Yeah,
this is
delete weird men. Yes, delete weird men. I do too. I get weird men all the time. Like, can I ask you a question? And like, hey, beautiful. Like, whatever.
yeah. Delete.
Bye-bye.
Does anybody have any questions before we end tonight's call? Don't worry, I'm gonna post her program on Mindset Monday, so you guys all have access. And I highly recommend, because I'm looking at you guys, and I know some of you are like, well, I could never be Wendy. You don't need to be Wendy. You don't need to be a Nick. You don't need to be me. Be yourself, but you all have your own niche. And you can all be great in that niche, right? And that's what's like, I love what you said, we're all so different. Like that's why you can have the views like Wendy does in your own niche. You're not going to do the same thing she does. You're going to have your own. And so I fully believe that social media is truly the future of a lot of our business. And so we need to hop on board. And it's scary. I know it's scary. I did it for the first time, and I don't know what I was so scared about. I really don't. I don't know why I self-doubt myself,
You
but
want to do good because you want to do good and you don't want to embarrass yourself. But again, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter because there's the people out there who are judging you. Do you even know them anyway?
Mhm.
No,
No.
you don't know those people. And again, who should you care about? Your little family. That's it. Nobody else. Everybody else. Like if Jacqueline doesn't like something that I posted, she's not going to hate me and block me, right?
No.
Unless I'm really offensive or something. But like we all live different lives and have different opinions and feelings, and there's something for everybody. Even if you think you're the most boring person in the world, trust me, there's other boring ass people who think you are amazing. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, and I say that jokingly because no one's honestly a totally boring person. Everybody has something. Everyone has other people out there who would totally connect with you if you just let them. And you could connect with them too. And when you share a pain, like I'll share this real quick. The other day, there's this thing. I was in some sort of algorithm on TikTok, and something came up, and it was like doorstep or doormat parents, and I was like, what's a doormat parent? And it's someone who's a narcissistic parent who had kind of built up in the searches as like someone who'd built like a following because she thought of herself as a doormat mom, but she's a narcissist and all this stuff. And anyway, and so immediately after I started listening to this woman, a child of a narcissist, talk about her situation and what happened with her, I was immediately slammed with some of my family's trauma and stuff like that. And so I started, like, I'm just gonna talk more about it now. And so like there's things like that, if there's something that you need to get off your chest, or it's cathartic, or you never know who you're gonna touch, who you're gonna connect with, who you're gonna help by sharing your story. And I truly believe that putting things out into the universe, whether it's the social media, that's like my diary. Social media is my diary because I don't like writing. I get hand cramps and everything, and I write like a serial killer. So I just verbalize and vomit verbally out into the universe and say all the little things that come out of my little brain and put it out there. And that immediately gets everything off my chest. I am free. Every so often I'm like, oh God, I can't believe I posted that. I got to go delete it. But that happens much more rarely, than it did in the beginning when I first started this. So you guys do you. I hope more than anything you understand, just be you and stop being Scentsy. Start sprinkling Scentsy into you instead.
Wendy, I need a whole video on you writing like a serial killer, because now I'm like, what does this look like? So maybe that should be a video you do this week, because I don't write because I write like a serial killer, and then show us how
it starts off nice, but then my hand starts cramping. I don't know. I think it's the way that I'm really intensely holding the pen or something. Maybe it's the size of the pen. Maybe I need one of those giant, kids pen. I don't know. But I've always had like my hand cramps when I type. Probably I'm getting arthritis or something, but I've always had that issue. So I prefer to always talk. Texting is a nightmare for me. So yes, talking is my thing. So if this is not a comfort zone for you guys, please know though that like the world like Jack said, this is where the world is going. And I saw a study that 95% of the population isn't on it yet, but it's the way it's headed, where you are at a point right now where if you get online and you start getting on live videos, anything live, doing live videos of any kind, start with short videos, like, the normal ones you make. But if you can go live, that is where e-commerce is headed for the future. It is massive in Asian countries, and it's starting to push off into other countries now. And if you can start doing more online, period, then you're ahead of the game now than waiting until it's like a thing and it's more saturated.
I love it. I love it. You're so awesome, Wendy. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on tonight and for filling our cups. I'm reading the chat and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. This has got me to post. I'm gonna start posting more. And again, you're going to love her program. So definitely go through it. I will post that here in a few minutes. But Wendy, we appreciate you so much. Thanks for taking your time out to come chat with us. You are.
Well, you're welcome. I'm sorry I went so long, but I'm
no, this was great. I'm glad you did. You gave us a lot of content. So I love you. You're so genuine. Like, you are someone who, what you see is what you get. And I love that. So thanks for sharing your heart. And I'll post our program. So you guys get on that if you're wanting to bump up your social media posting. And we will see you guys next Monday. So I hope to see all your faces next Monday for Mindset Monday. I don't know the topic off the top of my head, but I will get that posted. So, but I love you guys. Love you, Wendy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. You guys have a great rest of your night. Bye, everyone.